Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Kim here. And today I thought I would just give you a little bit of an update on my second cover using that. It was a tank top that I cut up. It just had this design on the front of it. And this is the second one. The first one I have right here. I'll just get it out for you. It is now has all the beading on it and the sequins and the flowers glued down. You've seen that, and it's glued to this. I haven't stitched it yet, but it's glued to this part. And so then I had shown you that I was going to use these flowers, and I thought maybe I was going to do some felting in the center. But then I couldn't find the right color of felt that I wanted to use. I wanted to have a little bit of a different trim. This trim is actually, this was a scarf, and this was the edge of the scarf. Sorry, it goes this way. And because it's got that silver in there and the red, it does pick up those colors in this tank top. So I figured I'm going to use that. So the first thing I did was I decided, well, I'll glue it down to the top and bottom, and that'll be the edge trimming that sits on the final edge of this journal, with the idea that I'm still going to do some kind of trims down the side and on the inside. So then I started to position the flowers, and I realized, because I had glued the first one, the bottom down here first. Can you see that? Yeah. And then I realized that, oh dear, I am going to run into a problem because I still haven't stitched this to the inside cover. So I had to peel back this trim so that it wasn't touching the edge, so that I can just kind of pin it out of the way or hold it out of the way while I stitch the inside cover and the outside cover together. So I saved that. And then, it'll be easy to do the sides because those are going to get covered anyway. And so when I did the top, I automatically just didn't do it all the way to the edge here. So I can still sew this down. I just have to hold this out of the way once the two pieces are glued together. But at least it now is in position of where I want it to be. Excuse me. Still a little bit of remnants of this cold. Now this scarf had this trimming all the way around it. On the two sides, I think. And then this was the rest of the scarf was made up of these little appliques, and I just cut them out around the tulle, knowing that eventually I will slow stitch this onto something someday, not knowing it was going to be this. So what I've decided now is I don't want the felting in the center, because I found that this cream color was way too much, and I didn't want to spend a lot of time stitching in the center here, or on the individual petals here, and then having to still go underneath the ones that are here first, and then putting this one down, or stitching this down after, you know what I mean. So I wanted to have a little bit more movement in here, although this is not how it's going to be. It's going to be tacked down a little bit more. And so then I started playing around, and I put these, and I like this. I put this doily down, and I thought, okay, that's kind of nice. I like that. Now what are we going to do in the center? And then I thought, I kept coming back that maybe I'll put felt. But so I'm going to put the doilies in here for you to see it better. I thought, no, I don't want that felt in there. For some reason, it's not working for me. I couldn't find a color that I liked. I don't have this mossy green. If you can believe it, I have every color but this mossy green color, and which is just a little bit of a hint of green on this cover, or on this lace. Sorry. I should show you a close-up of it so you can see it better. So it's just a little bit of this mossy green. So I thought, no, I'll tie the moss green in some other way. But I really liked how these were coming around. And then I tried different flowers inside. I tried this inside. It's nice, but it's not, there has to be round cornered. Actually, I have one here round cornered, or rounded. I mean, it's nice, but it's a little bit boring. And so I thought, well, I need something. And so then I thought, well, maybe I'll put one of these little sequin bits in here from cutting it out of here. because I can use these little appliques all over the place. So I tried that, and I didn't like that either. It still seemed like too much flour, not enough glitz and stuff. So I will still stitch these down somehow. I haven't decided that yet. Excuse me. But then I realized if I take a 6-inch piece of this trim, and I'm going to do that right now because I have to do it 6 times anyway. So I'm just going to cut from 6 to 12. Okay. I thought I would make a flower, and now this got a lot of little threads hanging around here. I will cut those after. But if I wanted to make a flower, the full width of this, it would be this big around. So it would take over that whole flower and you wouldn't see the doily. So I realized, well, I got to cut it in half. So I cut the trim in half, just leaving the bottom layer of sequins so that I didn't go through the top. And that gives me about 3/4 of an inch, almost an inch wide of a trim. So it takes away this part here, which is fine. I can use this in lots of slow stitching projects. So I'll just put that in the scrap pile. But it left me this piece here with a lot of little threads. Just gonna cut that. Hopefully nothing falls off. And I thought, okay, that's a good size, and it's 6 inches, so it's a perfect length. And I can gather this up with the needle and thread and make a center or another layer of flower with this. And then just, stitch it at the other end, and I would have this kind of a flower. Now I've already done it. So here it is here. It's stitched in the center. I still have my thread hanging. I won't probably stitch it down yet. But I thought this makes a really cute little center. So let's get rid of that one and try this one in here. And I thought, okay, I like that. But it's still missing something. So I hope you can see that okay. Knowing that I'm still going to do some kind of stitching in here. I don't know what yet. I will have to see. And I know this is overlapping, so I don't know if this will go under or over at this point. We'll see. And then I tried that in again, and I didn't find that outrageous. I just have to flatten it down and stitch it down a little bit. I thought that kind of looks cute. And then I also tried just the little flower in the center. But it seemed a little bit boring again. So I think these will get used somewhere else, even if it's for another slow stitching project. I think that this seems to be where I'm going with it. And then I may still come back and put one more little diamond or a bead in here. There is a little sequin in there, but it's so lost in there. So I could probably pick a couple of sequins off of this thing and add those in there into the center with some beads yet. So that's kind of what I wanted to show you today is where I'm at. And I will now further play around with this. I've got to make 5 more of these little things to go in the center of the doily. But just to show you how different it already looks. Now, if you're looking closely, you can still see my stitches there. I think I can show you. There, and you can still see the patching in there. My plan was to take pieces of these other pieces, like I can cut them up in different ways. So there's kind of 2 distinct florals here that I can cut out individually. So it gives me one long strip and a shorter strip, which I cut off of there. But I thought I can stitch these down in between or glue them, because this might have to be done after I've stitched all around the whole journal, because I don't want to put too much in the center just yet until I put the signature stitches through. So this would possibly get glued and very lightly stitched, just maybe a slip stitch through the first layer, not going right through the whole journal cover. But I could add these pieces in between to cover up my stitches and to cover up any of the seams that are showing. So if you can see that okay there. So that will kind of define the spine as well. And then I can also use them here to cover my stitching where I had to stitch the pieces, the patching, where I had to patch them together. I'd like to have more of the piece showing. And it won't come right to the end here. I would probably end just before that. So I may only use 2 instead of, so let's try 2, and we'll just tuck this one under. So that I still leave room, because it's a shame to bring all the stuff to the edge and then you just add more bulk to the end of your journal page or journal cover, and then I still want to put my trims over top. So I figured I would use these as a means of covering up the rough edges that are showing through and down the spine, but still leaving, like, I don't want to cover up all of the fabric, because I know that's what I have a tendency of doing, but kind of losing the point there of picking the fabric to begin with, right? So that's just kind of what I wanted to show you today, so that you get an idea of where I'm at, because some stuff I have to work on and figure out first. But I think I'm liking it. I think it's got some potential. And so, again, I just want to stress that you can patch things together and nobody's going to see it by the time you're done, because I could cover these rough edges with stitches or sequins or beads or anything to fill that in. And so if you have a nice top, maybe you have a favorite top that you really like, that's, it's time to say goodbye to it for whatever reason. Maybe it doesn't fit anymore. Maybe it's not, up to style, what you like anymore. Maybe the color's not your favorite anymore, but it at one time was your favorite. So why not turn it into a journal cover? So yeah, that's where I'm at with this. And I just thought I'd stop and share and show you, and then I will come back on another day and show you more. That's it. That's all. Have yourself a very creative day and a creative week, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye for now.